All right, welcome back. We're doing Absolute Flash. We're hopping in. We haven't touched this at all. Jeff Lemire wrote this. I love Jeff Lemire. Let's hop in. He's doing the Moon Knight run that we are going over. More Moon Knight is to come. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. So we start with, what have I done? What have I done? What have I done? What have I done? Wally West is running through the desert. It seems that he just got his powers because he has no idea what's going on. This is all so messed up. I've ruined everything. I can't go back. I have to keep going, keep running. When he finds out that he's literally going to kill me, but what does it matter now? Everything is messed up. Everything is pointless. I messed up so bad. And we get him freaking out, unable to control his powers, as we see kind of figures breach out of him in red. And so we start with Wally saying, 2 days ago, know who you are, know what you are, where you are, you're Wally West, you're 15 years old. As we see him in the pouring down rain, walking through the train tracks, just kind of making his way. You are completely and totally alone. I knew it was only a matter of time. Things have been okay for a while, but I could feel it coming on again. It always starts in my stomach like this terrible, low-level, uneasy feeling that begins to spread, and then I know it's starting again. Racing thoughts, obsessive overthinking. She used to catch it early. She could make me relax, help me calm down, but she's gone. It's just me now. That seems to be his mother. I don't need anyone else anyway. In the end, we're all alone. Other people just mess everything up. When it's just me, I have control, total control. So after his mom's death, he kind of just isolated himself, not really having friends, not wanting to connect with anybody. But he does have a friend as he walks over to this place called Fort Fox, where they say, hey man, this is a restricted area. You can't come in here. Your dad works here. What? His dad's here at Fort Fox? And then we see somebody else come out. Hey, cut him some slack, Sergeant. We were all young once. It's Barry Allen. So he does have a friend. It's Barry. Barry is not the main Flash in this comic, but he acts as a mentor, which I think is really cool, that Wally is the main Flash, but still gets the mentor type. So we think for now. So as they're walking, Barry's like, you haven't gotten into trouble? You have no one to do it with, I guess. You must be used to that by now. But you and your dad were down at Fort McNeil in Texas before transferring here. And Wally says, and Iowa before that. He is a military brat, going back and forth, different places. He also hasn't even had the chance to really connect with people. And so as Barry's walking him home, and they say goodnight to each other, Barry's like, hey, you want to see something cool? And so they go into a lab on the base. And Barry's like, did your dad ever tell you what we actually do here? Well, not really. Just research stuff. He and I don't really talk a lot. So after his mom's death, he just really isn't close with his dad. He really isn't close with anybody. And he tells him that, yeah, since my mom died, we don't really have a lot in common, so we don't really talk. And Barry says that he relates to this. But let me show you Project Olympus, which is a strange name considering that we have seen Diana, Absolute Wonder Woman, is a god. And at this point, she's a little bit well known after her stuff in Gateway City. And Barry goes on, I can't really tell you everything, but we're working on the very razor's edge of physics and biology. I mean, I'm not going to lie, it's the military. So the mandate is obviously weapons development, but that's only the beginning. Where we can go from there is we're breaking new ground every day. Look, I'm glad that I ran into you, Wally. I read your file. You're a smart kid. Too smart to be stuck sitting around the barracks, going to that embarrassment they call a school. You can work part-time with me once in a while. Wally's like, that would be awesome, but like, my dad would never let me. And isn't this super classified? And look at that mullet he's got back there. Well, I can pull some strings. I can talk to your dad. I'm sure once I explain, he'll understand. As Wally's dad comes in. No, I won't understand. What are you doing down here? Why aren't you in bed? They call me and tell me that they caught you sneaking back in. So the guards snitched him out. And Wally's like, I wasn't sneaking in. I just went around town, lost track of time. As his dad's like, oh, you're running around with your friends. I don't have any friends, Dad. There's no one here for me. Barry tries to interject. I was just showing Wally around. No, don't call me by my first name, Colonel West. And you know damn well civilians are not allowed here, Dr. Allen. And he tells Barry, mind your own business. You're lucky I'm not going to report you. As Barry's like, yo, the kid is just bored. I just want to show him some stuff. And then Colonel West kicks Wally back to his house. We'll talk about this later. So Wally His dad and Barry are not really on the best of terms. Wally's only friend really seems to be Barry because Barry sees potential in him. And now we go back to the present day. Should never have gone with Barry, should never have stayed with my dad, should have just ran when I had the chance. Never looked back, just be on my own, where I can't hurt anyone. As something is in the distance driving towards him, and he thinks it's his dad, but really, it's a boomerang looking thing shooting out of the ship, tracking Wallace West, and it asks if it has permission to attack, but no, return to the unit. I could have taken him and saved us a whole lot of trouble, because it's none other than the Rogues. We have Captain Cold, Captain Boomerang, that looks like Trickster, and Golden Glider there, with Captain Cold as the leader saying, Harkness, you and I are going in. We're getting this kid alive. These guys are set up as the main villains, it seems, chasing down Wallace West under orders of somebody, considering that they want him alive. As Wally's running through, this is insane. My dad sent them after me. How could he do that? Where we cut to 1 day ago. Wally, playing guitar, gets interrupted by his dad, who comes in. Hey, are you okay? I just wanted to talk about last night. Look, I want to talk to you about what you saw in the mountain. The work they do is dangerous there, Wally, and I need you to be here, but I also need to keep you safe. Wally's like, dude, are you serious? You dragged me across the country because you need me to be here? But what about me, Dad? What am I supposed to do? Just sit in my room and wait until I get orders and we move again? At least Barry showed interest in me, saw potential. And this is when his dad's like, Barry, you are not allowed to talk to that guy again. Understand? As Wally says, yes, sir, and then runs away as his dad pretty much just banned him from seeing his only friend, only person that he actually likes at the base. And so then he looks towards the mountain and goes in to find Barry. Instead, he meets with a gorilla, little tiny ape. That is Gorilla Grodd as we know him. And we see more of him in the future as he starts freaking out, and Wally enters a new room, seeing Barry in the middle, telling him, get away, run, 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 as he's wearing a new suit. And before the explosion goes off and we see what goes on, we cut back to Wally running from the Rogues. Captain Boomerang, once again, using his boomerang, talking to it like it's his pet, like it's a real person, where Trickster says, stop referring to that thing as a person, Digger. It's creepy enough as it is. Captain Gold's like, shut up, both of you. The kid is close. And Wally is freaking out. This dude's having like a panic attack. He's telling himself to calm down, breathe, and we see this kind of energy go through him, and we kind of get revealed what happens to Barry. You messed everything up. You messed all of this up. It's all your fault, Wally. You can run all you want. It will never be far enough. You know what you did. As we see Barry Allen dead, wearing the suit that Absolute Flash is wearing on the cover. You killed Barry Allen, Wally. You did this. So Wally blames himself for this, as we see flash forward 1 year later, and looks like the remnants of the explosion. Access to Project Olympus archives requested. Password Blue Trinity. Blue Trinity is a group from the Soviets that were sent to capture Barry Allen Flash in the main line, hired by Wally West's dad. What's happening here? No idea. Might just be an Easter egg, might be a deep cut, but we see on the screens a bunch of people. What seems to be Heatwave. We see Gorilla Grodd and Wally talking. Wally wearing a new suit, and then a full Gorilla Grodd society like we do. Oh, it's time to make the whole world fall. So this seems to be what happens within a year of Wally West being the Flash. Will this happen? I guess we're just going to have to keep going. Thank you for listening, watching, enjoying. Peace out. We're doing more Absolute Flash. Yeah. Jeff Lemire cooking.